Alright, what's happening, folks? I got a new source for my air, for my forge here, for my blacksmithing stuff. This is a squirrel cage blower that's just been kind of manipulated slightly. I took some thin galvanized steel and kind of cut it to match the back of the blower. And put some bolts in it. And blower is just it's kind of basically this kind of blower is basically just a fan attached to a motor, essentially, and it blows air in a direction and pulls it in from here, blows it out out here, and I've attached, I don't even know the name of this thing here. Yeah, I think they use it for AC applications, but I've attached it in here to my forge here, which is actually some big, huge cast iron piping I was given years ago by the city. So I've been having some trouble doing forge welding, which, hold on. This isn't actually a great example, but this is a tomahawk, or it's actually a broken tomahawk, but it's what allows you to take two pieces of iron like this or steel like this, wrap it around and fuse it together in the forge without going and putting it in without trying to weld it with an actual modern welder. I've been having trouble. I can't and I think what it is I'm not getting the forge hot enough. So I got a better blower. So I'm gonna try to light this thing up and see how much better it works than my old situation, which was a hairdryer, which people use. Yeah, I don't really seem to be getting that much more air, actually, so I may have to check into some things. Well, maybe I'm good. But I did my first little electrical work here. You know, I make jewelry out of these wires mostly, but I took some wires and took them apart, spliced them with this larger wire, learned, which wire was the hot wire, which wire was the, cold wire or neutral wire, which one was the ground. This is an off switch, so I can just turn it off because I didn't have any way to do it without physically unplugging it before. Sorry about my filming. I don't know how to do two things at once, like these two things. It actually seems to be giving me a better airflow in my hair dryer. So, essentially, you're just looking for an air source. There's actually a hand crank version that people use. Effectively, it's fine. There's a number of kinds I saw at use in Nigeria. You're just sending that air through basically a pathway in through and up to the center and blowing it into your whatever your carbon source is. So that's, or whatever fuel source is. So theoretically, it could be propane. People use propane forges. I don't currently. You can use charcoal or coal or coke. This is newer coal I got from some friends. So at some point, I believe it stops throwing off this huge fire. You couldn't really do much. I don't think you can do much forging in all this fire like this, but that looks like it's getting hot there in the center, hot enough to do what I need to do. You can't really see the colors here, but I can see there's some white. It probably looks all white here on the video camera, but I can see some brightness in there, and that's what I need to get to so that my steel will melt. In fact, let me try to melt the piece maybe. See, I'll just put a piece in here. Well, no, maybe I won't. That piece was a little bit thin. It probably wouldn't meant that much. But I think this is going to be good, so I'll get back to it later. Anyway, so that's that, and this is my first little, trying to get out of my own way with this lighting, but this is my first little electrical experiment, and I didn't haven't burned anything down. So yeah. Yeah, that looks good.